on our second video now, and we're going to explain kind of the steps of IVF with you. We had some questions about what it is and everything, so we could just want to explain to everyone how it goes. So the first step would be the male and the female.
I'm the male and she's the female.
We go together to see the doctor to kind of discuss our infertility problems, and then they kind of explain IVF in a brief summary, if you would.
Yeah.
They also do some blood tests and everything to check to make sure everything's healthy, your hormones are up to date, there's no diseases, and they kind of just need like a generic step of labs drawn in order to start the process. So.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, so after you go and you get that done, the next thing is they make sure that you, they check your finances and see if the insurance covers any of the process, how much it'll cost all in the end. We're not going to go into too much detail with that, but that's the next step is financial clearance and checking with the insurance to see if they cover.
And then after you find out if your insurance is covered or not, they set up a nurse's visit, which is really a good thing for the couple to do together.
Yeah.
It's like a 2.5 hour
It's a really long consultation. It basically just goes over every single step in super detail.
So they explain like the medications, how to inject, and you get to practice injecting as well. So we had a lot of fun with that.
That was scary too. You mix your own vials of medicine, and you get the syringes, and you sucking it in one jar, put it in the other.
We'll show you when we have to start our injections.
Cool.
So we'll save the excitement for later. The next step is...
So the next step after that, after the nurse consult, is essentially waiting to start the IVF process. So we're in that boat at the moment, so we're waiting for the period to come. So I think it's on day 2 or 3 of the period is when you can start your injections. So that's the stage we're in right now. And then you can take care of the injections because it's obviously you that's getting injected.
So once we tell the nurses that I got my period.
I'm not getting my period.
Then we start they let us know when we can come in. So that day we would do a blood draw and an ultrasound to make sure everything's good to go. So when they do that, they let us know by the end of the day if we can start the injections that night. And the injections is kind of an exciting part. It's kind of the start of the whole thing. So there's 2 different injections that I'm doing. Everyone's cycle is kind of different.
Yeah.
So it kind of depends on your labs and ultrasounds that you had previous. So the 2 injections I'll be mixing together at first would be Menopur and Follistim. Put it all into one vial, and I give myself injections for about 8 to 12 days.
Either in the tummy or the thigh.
So then after that, on day 5, they let us know when we can add in the other medication, which is Ganirelix.
Yeah.
So all of these, the Ganirelix makes me not ovulate because I don't want to ovulate. So I'll be taking this for a couple days with the other injections that kind of enlarge my eggs and my...
It just basically like enhances the entire process of the egg creation and all that. I don't, pretty much that.
So then after doing 3 of those injections for a while, they let me know when I can do the actual exciting trigger shot, which is the HCG shot.
So for anyone who has watched that show on Netflix with Robin from How I Met Your Mother, what's it called?
Friends Before College.
Yep, Friends from College, then you'll know what a trigger shot is. For those that haven't, Kaylee's going to tell you what a trigger shot is.
So this is kind of the big shot that actually makes the female ovulate, and exactly 36 hours after this shot is when I would go in for my egg retrieval, and Troy would be providing
I'd go in for my semen sample. So it's like legit 36 hours to the minute. You've got to take the trigger shot, and then exactly 36 hours afterwards is where it's go time, retrieval, semen analysis, and then after that, after the retrieval and semen analysis, then basically Kaylee's eggs and my semen, they'll be put together in a petri dish. Now there's 2 ways that we know of that you can do IVF from here. You can do ICSI, which is where they get the egg and they'll inject a single sperm into the egg and fertilize it that way. Or you can do the conventional way where you basically put the egg and the semen in a petri dish and let them form naturally. So that's the way that we are going to do, at least for the start.
Yeah. So that would bring us to step 10. And that is when they 2 samples together in the little petri dish will be in the incubator for 5 days. after we leave the egg retrieval, they'll tell us how many eggs that they actually retrieve. So that's always so exciting to find out.
Yeah, I think that's what Kayla's most excited for.
So after that, the 5 days after the incubator, they let us know if we're ready for a transfer, and then they will not naturally, but they will transfer it into my uterus lining.
And both the retrieval and transfer are both under anesthesia. And during those 5 days, the semen and the egg will form into an embryo, and the embryologist will basically monitor them to make sure which ones are healthy, which ones are not, and they basically transfer the right one. The way that we are doing the IVF, some places will do multiple embryo transfers. We're only doing one embryo transfer. So that's a big difference in the IVF world, because IVF's known for twins and triplets and all that. We're only doing a single embryo transfer. So
then the hardest part, I think, is going to be at the end. After the transfer, we have to wait 12 to 14 days to do a pregnancy test, and it would be a blood draw pregnancy test, because that's more accurate than the actual just peeing on a stick. So
I've got to keep Kaylee entertained for 14 days.
So that'll be hard. But we're only in the beginning stages, so we hope you guys stay tuned.
A lot more coming.
We have lots of videos that we're going to be sharing with you, and we're really excited that everyone goes on a journey with us.
Yep. So we wanted to put this together is because a lot of our friends were like, IVF, what's that? You know, I don't really know much about it. So this is why. I'm also going to add some fun facts about IVF that a lot of people don't know, so that'll be kind of in the second after this. So, and then you've got to tell them to do that.
And you have to subscribe. Let's subscribe over here today.
This way?
This way.
In that bottom corner?
Yeah, right there.
Right, I'll put it in there.
Everyone subscribe, because the more people that subscribe, the more that people who actually search IVF and have questions for it, the more they're likely they can find our video and they can have answers.
And any IVF experts out there, if we missed anything, we're not doctors. We're just going off what we know. So
we're still learning too. So we hope to have everyone join and follow along, and we'll keep you updated.
Ahoy! Welcome to the IVF Fun Facts. Did you know that the first IVF baby was born way back in 1978? Well, you do now. Did you also know that there have been over 5 million babies born through IVF? And it's about to be 5,000,001 once we're done.